Hi, I'm Allison Pryor and I teach acrylic paintings for the beginner and all levels. And today we are going to paint this beautiful poppies in the blue vase. Isn't that pretty? A little feather there and a little book and a nice little butterfly. So I'm going to show you easy techniques to do these poppies today. It's a little trick that I found and I'm going to show it to you. Let's get started. So this is the reference photo I'm using from Pixabay. This is what we're going to paint today. Ah, that rhymes. So for this painting today, I'm going to use my primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. You can use the cad red, cad yellow, cad blue, burnt umber, and white for this painting. As long as you get your primary colors, you're all set, plus your black and white or burnt umber, some dark color. And you can use, so with your primary colors, you have yet red, yellow, and blue. Then you can, whatever yellow you have. Now some videos will show you the different types of yellows they're using, different names of their yellows and things. But if you want to use any yellow you want, cad yellow, lemon yellow, you know, whatever names that you have there. And red, cad red, you can use bright red, just all kinds of different reds. But whatever you have on hand, because it could be very costly to go and get colors. And you only use them in one painting. Next painting you do got different colors again. So I would say that's what I do. I just get the primary colors plus my green if I want a green, but I'm making my own green today. Burnt umber, burnt sienna. I don't have it here, but I'm just saying burnt sienna. I like burnt sienna. I like burnt sienna and white. And so that's just a little tip for you. I'm just going to take a soft brush today. It's synthetic. It's not soft, but it's a synthetic. And I'm going to try doing a mottled background with a softer look. Okay, now if you want to mist it with water, you can do that. You can mist it with your Magic White formula. Magic White, or you can put on a coating of Magic White if you want. I'm just going to mist mine because I'm doing a video and it's a little easier for me to do it this way. So anyway, let's see if we can start with some colors. I'm going to start off with probably some burnt umber. I want to have some darkness on there, and I'm going to have some darkness down here too. I'm going to make a table for it to sit on. So I'm just going to take a line here just to have something there to sit on. Okay, I want to do this while it's wet, see? So I'm just going to, I'm not trying to get it perfect yet. I'm going to add my burnt umber. And see, because I got the Magic White sprayed on there, I can leave that alone for a minute. But just wanted to show you what I'm up to. So I'm going to add some red to that too, look. See how pretty that makes it? Add some red. Because it's nice and wet, it'll all blend together, alright? It's like having cherry wood table. And we will straighten up that table now after. But look, nice cherry wood table, see? You still see the brown streaks and the reds. Good. Now, I'm going to do the same up here. I'm just going to take my dirty brush. And because I got the Magic White on there, just look how soft that is. Now, you don't have to use Magic White all the time. Just mist it with water. It's okay. And use lots of paint. That way, the paint will stay wet longer. But I just use it because I got used. I don't know. I just use it because I like the feel of it. But not everybody wants to use it because you don't have the ingredients here to make it. And Colors on, that's all I'm doing. Alright, now I'm going to go into my white. Put on white. So you can see I'm just putting all the colors on. I'm having it a bit dark over here and some lighter on this side, okay? Just to give it some interest. It's kind of nice, you know. I was going to do the tap, tap, tapping, but I decided to make a nice soft look today. Nice soft background. Look how pretty that's coming out. Look, I'm just playing. Just play. Just sit down and do this for an hour and you will be so relaxed. You'll be like, oh my gosh, just so pretty. And it feels so good too. It feels good because the brush is just going back and forth on the canvas. And it feels really nice. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? I'm kind of giving it a swirl here just to give it some kind of a, I don't know, a nice look to it. There'll be a lot of flowers here, but you'll still be able to see the background. Look, oh my, see that magic white really works wonders. Blows me away. If you have used the magic white recipe or the mist, let me know in the comments if you used it and how it worked out for you. I'd like to know because I get some people say, you know, they love it and they used it, but I don't get enough to know the real, you know, the real results. Even if you got a bad problem, even if you got, you know, a bad turnout, let me know and I'll try to help you fix it. But I like to hear, you know, how you're making out with it, because if you're not making out very good with it, it's possible you could be mixing it wrong or too much of something or whatever. So I want to help because this is so nice. It feels so good, you know. Just going to blend that in with that red there. Just look at that. That's gorgeous, isn't it? That could be a painting in itself. I'm going to add my yellow and some white in a second. There we go, a bit of white. Now we got the reference photo, but as you can see, my background's anywhere near like the reference photo. Because I just like to use the photos just to help guide me, but not to, you know, not to do exactly as a reference photo. But look at that, I can blend right into those colors again, look. And because it's all wet, because we're working wet on wet, it's called. Because you're working wet on wet, it's all blending so pretty. I'm even going to go down here, look, I'm not afraid. And I'll bring it up here like this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it is. I don't know about you, but I think it is. So try that and have fun with it. Like, don't worry about it. Just sit down and relax and enjoy. So you get this nice and dark down here. Your burnt umber and your, so that's just where we're going to lay the, alright, so just put the dark on down here with some red. Alright, that was pretty, isn't it? Now we want to get a vase on first. Okay, we'll put our flowers in after, so we just need to see how high we want the vase. So we'll put a line, use some chalk. Now, you could print it out and use it as a pattern if you want to do that easier. But if you want to learn how to draw out and place it on your canvas without, you know, freehand, then you can do it this way. But if you want a pattern, I'll certainly get it for you. I'll get you yeah, I'll just send you the picture and then you can print it off. So here we go. Let's see. Just trying to think, because I mean, I could. It's very easy to make it too big or too small, correct? So that's how far down I want it on the table. Hopefully it's not too far down. And then my vase, I want it to be about here. So I can make my own decisions, all right? Because I'm going to fill up this with flowers. So I'd say, but the vase still has to be big enough to hold the flowers, doesn't it? So I'm going to make that line a bit bigger than this one. I'm going to kind of make that into a little smiley face, all right, smiley face. And then I'm going to come in here and in here as if I'm making a little jug or something up here. And then I'm going to make that round bottom. Now let's hope for the best. Don't have to be perfect, but you can shape it up more better when you paint it. It's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's not fantastic, but it's not too bad. I get a smaller flat brush, okay, And I can't tell you the sizes on them because they all have different sizes, different brands, but it's pretty small, you know, small, adjusted to your canvas. This canvas is 11, I think it's 12 by 14 or 11 by 16, but let's get some blue, dark blue. I like the color on the picture. You can change it to anything. Change it to red if you want, or yellow. I'm just going to put that on there. Go over to chalk mark and use that as a guide. Yeah. Let's see, let's see. See, it shapes up better when you paint it in. Right? So we'll be putting some highlights on that. I'm going to put, let's get this side done first. I get anxious and want to keep, I want to just go, get to the points of where I want to go. I'm going to add some burnt umber to that blue. And I'm just going to darken it up for shadows. And then I'll put highlights on it after. Good. See, you could use black too, right? But I'm trying to, you know, I'm just trying to use different darks to see what they come out like. You can take those chalk marks off when you're ready. Ah, that's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. All right. Now there's a couple of other things that are on the table that we can do later. Right now I'd like to get started on the flowers. So I'm going to take my flat brush, and then we're going to use other brushes to get these really nice background leaves and things. So clean your brush and make sure you're using a synthetic. See how, look, when I turn towards you, it almost disappears. That's chiseled edge, okay? It's very sharp, we'll call it. We'll say it's sharp. And you can even take your fingers and pull it up like that. Alright, so make sure it's got a nice chiseled edge that when you put on your leaves, they'll be nice and thin, okay? Alright, so let's make our own green, or you can go ahead and get a sap green if you like. But I find this way is good because I can have whatever color greens I want. So I'm not even going to mix that. I'm just going to leave, right? You can't do that when you use just one green. So let's see. Let's try and figure this out. We got some, they're everywhere. They're all over the place. Just got to get them right. Ooh, nice. So I'm going to put on a pile of them. I'm going to make it a bit more yellowy so you can see it. Brighten it up a little bit more so you can see it on a bit of white, because you won't be able to see it if I don't get that like that. Use the very tip of your brush now, the chiseled edge. Alright. Now if it goes fat on you on the bottom, which is fine, that's good, it's a good thing. But if it starts going and you can't get it nice and thin, switch to another brush. Try a liner brush, okay? We'll try a nice long liner brush. But if that one's working for you, you can certainly leave it, alright? Just trying to give you some idea of the different brushes you can use for when you're doing this. So you come up, right? And you crisscross some of them too. Right on. Now, getting there. Dip your brush in water if you're having a problem getting it to move. See the water dripping off of that? So I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to dip it into my paint while it's dripping with water, and then it won't drip anymore. It'll just make the paint really thin. But look, you want it nice and wet. Okay, this is why you might have problems having it move, so just make sure it's nice and wet. And you might only get 1 or 2 streaks out of it. Then you got to wet it again, alright? So your palette is going to be pretty wet by the time you get these done. And you want to keep in mind where you're going to have your flowers, your poppies, right? There's probably a poppy here, some poppies in the back, poppies up here, one right up in the top, right up in the top, and one coming out over here somewhere. So just keep putting them on until you feel that you have enough. You can always put more on after you get your poppies done, you know, if you didn't have enough on there. You can overlap some. Come back in if you're having a hard time getting them to come out. Whatever you can get to work. Don't have to be exactly like me. Some people actually find easier ways to do things. Nice. I'm going to add a bit of blue, a bit more blue to my brush. Get kind of a bluish color. Thing is, you can't see that, but look, see how it gives you that. Look, see, you get two, the shadow and the highlight all at the one time. Isn't that amazing? So you put blue on one side of your brush and yellow, a bit of white or whatever, like this even, you might get some nice. Oh yeah, it's pretty. Pretty. I like to get those lines a little thinner. I'm adding more water again. Add a bit of blue every now and then. That'll give you kind of shadows. See? It's kind of nice too, isn't it? Lots of water to make this work. See how it turns green then after a while when you, right? Water, paint, boom. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to add some thicker ones down here just to say there are a few nice big thick flowers. Just pushing in, that's all. I'm going to add some shadow to that so you can see it. And some yellow to highlight it. White. Yellow and white. We'll fix it up after. It's just a little one hanging out on the side, kind of a bigger one or something, you know, just to get a few extras in there. There we go. Just add a bit of burnt sienna if you have to get it darker. It's okay. I'm not going to worry about it right now. After we get our flowers, and you'll be able to see it better. Alright. Marvelous. Alright. This is the hard part. Now wait for that to dry, and then we'll put some flowers on. We'll put our poppies on. Now we're going to start our poppies, and we have to decide where we are going to put them. This is the hardest part. You can either put in the centers first, or you can try to draw out a shape of a poppy. That way you'll be able to see where they're going. So you could try that if you like. So let's see. Let's just, I think I'm going to just make, you can do, you know, whatever way you find it easier for yourself. But I'm going to drop in a couple of flowers here just to see if I'm getting it properly, because I want to fill up this whole space with flowers. Can't see that one, can you? Let's try this. It's a little bit better. I'm just trying to see if I can come up with some flowers. All right. So let's put that on there again, just so you can. But just draw on. Use chalk, like I said, and just draw on some flowers, some poppies, to see where you want them. They don't have to be exactly the same as your picture, because if you try to do that, you're going to be very frustrated. You're going to be trying to get everything exactly the same as the reference photo, and then you'll be tied to it. So once you get an idea of how to do the poppies, then that's all you need. Just need to know how to get. Biggest thing is getting to know how to put your poppies on and the shapes. Okay. Now I might put a little one down here. See, I'm not tied to the picture. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. So that's that. It's helping me. It is helping me. But I don't want to be like, oh, that's not exactly the same as that one. And okay, so it's a big help. The reference photo is a big help. So it's helping me put the flowers on. Look at all those flowers. They're cool. Now all we gotta do is get them nice. I don't want too many open spaces, so if I want to add more, I can add more, see? It's not on the reference photo, but I can do what I want. I have the freedom, the license, the artistic license to do whatever I want. Alright, now let's get some started. All we need is our flat brush. Get a small flat brush. Try the one that you already used for this nice flat brush. Chiseled edge. You can use that. Try this one, and if that's not working out for you, then get another smaller one. I'm just going to go with my red, my pure red, and I'm going to put that in there. See, at least now we'll be able to see. Have some idea what they're going to look like. Hey, they're going to be real pretty. So pure red, might need a couple of coats. I want to make it look like petals too, so take advantage of that square head there. Just touch and pull in. While I'm waiting for the poppies to dry, I think I'll move to a different area. I think I will go back to my my vase and put in some of my lighter blue color so I can highlight it, okay? So I'm going to do I'm still using my same brush. Sometimes you only need 1 or 2 or 3 brushes. You don't need a huge amount of brushes. So I'm going to see if I can take some blue paint and some white, brighten it up nice and bright. I'm not going to totally mix it. I'm going to put a little rim around here. And then I'm going to, on my chiseled edge, I'm going to drag down some of these on my chiseled edge, okay? That way I can get to keep some of my dark color underneath there. Look at that. And then you want to keep the shape of the bowl, of the vase. So think about it. Think about the shape. Kind of curves, right? Curves. Got a nice little curve. Curves around here too. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit more. Didn't mix it very much, as you can see. Because that way I'll get some different values of blue. Turn my brush this way just to get a little bit of a softer look on the top there, and then move it back to the chisel edge. Don't forget to move your brush around to the way you think you might need it, okay? Nice. I'm going to wipe off my brush and my tissue to cleaning off my brush, and I'm going to smudge it a little bit down here on the bottom. Now if you don't want to do this, you don't have to, okay, because you might like it just as it is. Sometimes I might try something and it might not work out, so don't be afraid to do your own thing. If it comes out the way you like it, then leave it alone, okay? Just going to give it a little bit of, like I said, I'm just doing this. It looks good as it is, but I'm trying to clean up the edges a bit just to soften them up. Might give it a little bit of white here for more of a highlight. Don't want to fold it up. Just kind of give it a little bit of a little highlight to it, and a little more white on the edge here. If I need more, I'll do that later. Okay, so the vase is not bad. It's not bad at all. Now, what else do we want to do? What do we want to do? Now, let's take our chalk again. And let's see if we can draw the paper that's here. I really like these things that are here. So I'm going to draw like a C, a half a C sort of. And another one out this way. And then I'm going to, hopefully this will put another line down here. And make another backwards C. And another one. Just see if I can get that look of paper. Something like that. We can always fix that up when we paint it. And then we also have a little jar here. Let's put the jar, let's see. See the beauty of chalk, all you do is wipe it off. You can use a damp tissue, damp brush. Make sure if you use a damp brush that is really clean. Okay? You don't want paint on it because then you'll end up with paint. So I'm going to put a little, like we did with our vase, just a little curvy line there and then straight down. We'll make that next to here. I'm not going to lay it as close. And there's a feather sticking out of this one. So I think that's all I'm going to put there. I don't know if you want the cork, you can put the cork there if you want. Cork looks like the letter, looks like a V shape. Hard to get the shapes with chalk, but what you can do is you can shape it up with your paint. Now let's work on the poppies. Let's see, what's the best brush for this one? They're fairly big, so I'm going to try that brush that I've been using. I'm going to keep trying that brush, but you can use a smaller one. And you can use it so that it's a flat brush. You can try other brushes after, you know, when you feel like you need to try other brushes. But maybe the best thing for us to do is put in our centers first. I think that would help a lot if we put a center in. So I'm just going to take, you can take a small bristle brush. Take a small bristle brush. And so that it's got scruffy bristles on it and they're rough. And you can take your burnt umber and blue. This will be, you know, just to tap into your burnt umber and blue. And you can just tap in some centers, but put the centers where you know, because some are not, they're not all in the middle, right? This depends on where you want center. So just tap that on there. And now let that dry, because if you try to put the highlights on those while they're wet, on the dark, that will take your highlights and bring it right back to the darks. So if you want, while we're waiting for the poppies to dry, I could dry them with a hairdryer, you know, but I'm just going to move around just so that we can have a bit of fun, because it's nice to move around different places. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to put white on my brush and a little bit of blue on the corner, so I get something like this. And then I'm going to, because I want the shadow part down here, more white if you need it. Hopefully we can get this to look like a book. It looks like that line is curved more this way. If I don't get enough shadow, I'll just put a bit of shadow in there when this is done. Just trying to get those lines properly. I'm going to put a bit of burnt umber on the corner of my brush. I think the burnt umber is a better color for the shadow. While there's still a bit of wet and it's still white and it's still wet, that'll lighten up your... So while it's still wet and you got a little bit of burnt umber on the corner of your brush, trying to get it just on the corner there, see? On the corner, so that when you go up into the white it won't disturb your white. Don't think I'm getting it. Don't think I'm getting it. Just adding more white here. Here. Little burnt umber. The edge here. I'll let that dry and I'll see when it takes chalk marks off if it looks any good. So before you even do it, maybe, you know, see what my results are. Oh boy. Alright, so let's do this little thing here. Oops. Because this little jug is smaller, and you're going to need a smaller brush, so I'm just got a smaller flat brush, and I'm going to pick up my blue, just like we did before. I'm going to put blue in there. Kind of want to round it off a little bit. Round it off down here. Like I said, the chalk is only there to guide you, that's all. Then you can shape it up whatever way you want. That's good. Now we'll put a highlight on it after. So I'm going to put some burnt umber up here to make... Burnt umber and ultramarine blue makes a nice, really dark, almost black color when you blend two of them together. Alright, and then clean your... Well, we don't need to clean a brush yet. Let's take this, even though there's a... We'll put the highlight on it after. So we'll just take our feather, some chiseled edge, and put that up here. A little bit of an unsteady hand today. Whoops. I'm going to pull out those feathers now while I got some wet paint there. Just like when you did your palm trees. Okay, just pull out, pull out, pull out. Make a nice little feather. Nice, nice little feather. Now, when that dries, we'll put a highlight on it, okay? Good. Things are shaping up. Hopefully those poppies come out nice now. Now let's see what we can do that little cork. Let's see, I'm kind of don't like that shape. It comes down and up. It's a little better there. It's got to be sitting on the table. See, the whole thing has to be sitting on the table. So, shape it up a bit better than that. I think this line should come down straighter across. And then this one can come down to meet it. I'm going to put on some burnt umber first. See if I can get a shadow here. And then my shape. And it comes down. It's not too bad. It's only a little cork. So when we put the highlights on, it'll look more like a cork. Quirky. Alright, let's make some orangey color. Red. Put some highlights on the... when you're making orange, you put more yellow than red, okay? So, the trick is to shape these up. Shape them up so that they have petals coming out like that. And then you kind of skip over a spot. Okay, pull in. So we have to do another coat because you can still see. You can still see through them. So get your petals. Like that. So you get petals. And then you take your brush on the chiseled edge and pull in. And pull in. That helps get the shape better. See? Better? That's better, isn't it? So we'll get the better shape here. Just trying to get nice petals. And then use your chiseled edge to bring in those other bottom ones. Let's see if we get some nice petals here. See, they're all the round outer edges are jagged, right? So we need to straighten them up. So you take the edge of your brush and pull in, pull in, pull in. And then you can skip over that one there and just pull in. See? See how nice it looks? Much nicer. And then you can take that, touch and pull in. See? So get those edges. Starting to shape up better now there. So the trick is to get those edges. So what you're going to do, as you can see, I have taken my brush and I'm putting my red paint on because we want to do a second coat. And then you're going to take, because it's square and it's chiseled edge, that's going to help you get those petals. So you're going to touch the outer edge that we just did, and you're going to touch and pull in, and then you might want to touch and pull in, touch and pull in. See, having that center there helps. Reload and touch and pull in. So get those edges. I'm going to take a clean damp brush and take this chalk off here. Make sure your paint is dry before you do this. It's better. And now, I'm going to put some more highlight on this and here and the feather. A couple little things there just to encourage you to move on, because those flowers might be a little difficult. I'm just going to take a small flat brush, smallest I could find. That's a small area there, see? So all we need is a bit of blue. A little bit of blue and a bit of white. And again, I'm not going to mix it totally. I'm just going to put the blue and white together and away to go. Just going to bring this. If you're right-handed, you could start from over here, right, and pull in. If I was right-handed, I would probably do that, or you can, because I wouldn't mind keeping, I'm trying to see where the light is. So if the light is shining on, it seems like the light is over here, right? So if the light's over here, we need to keep things bright on this side. I'm going to give it a little bit of lightness over here. Good. And then I'm going to make this a little bit here. And I'm going to, that's a bit too bright for me. Too bright, so we can always fix that. Just go in with some blue. Go back over it again with some blue. See, that'll tone it down a bit. Bring it to the edge. Whoops, I don't want to mess it up. That's good. And I'm just gonna, a little bit more here. A little more light blue there. Because as it dries, acrylics dry really, they dry really dull. So you got to always go in and touch them up, you know. You put layers and layers of paint down there to keep them. It's kind of weird, the light is on this side, but it seems, if you look at the reference photo, it seems that the light is different places here. It seems like it's over here somewhere. Anyway, I'm just going to do it my way. My way or the highway. So I'm cleaning off my brush because I want it to be really paint free so I can smooth out some edges here. That's all. Before I try to catch it before it dries. Just trying to smooth it out a little bit more. A little bit. Don't matter if it's, you know, doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. As long as you got that bit of light there going on. Scrub at it. Scrub, 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 scrub. Okay. Same here. This is still wet, so you can scrub at that to soften it up. And I'm here making a mess. I'm so good at making a mess. So I got a chiseled edge. So now I'm going to put white on my brush. It's going to be a little bit of blue on that because my brush is not completely clean, which is a good thing. And I'm just going to bring that up to the edge here, this highlight. I'm trying to keep a straight line, it's the thing. There we go. Good. And I'm going to clean off my brush really good. Just in the tissue, because there might be a little bit of paint left on it, which is what I want. To go back over some of these darker so I can highlight those feathers a bit. Same down here. Kind of like dry brushing, you don't want too much paint on there. Okay. It's a nice little feather, isn't it? Good. And this here is kind of clean up those edges here with my chiseled edge. Just on the edge. You don't want to lose those shadows. There we go. Some down here. Just using my chiseled edge to bring on some of this little bit of a lighter color and try to straighten up the edges here. My hand's moving around a bit too much there now. Like I always say, I'm standing up, and I know you might say, well, sit down. I should. Alright, that's not too bad. I'll forgive myself. And then we have this little cork here, so I'm just going to take a bit of burnt umber and add some white to it. Alright. You got burnt sienna, be good, or brown, or... So just a bit of burnt umber that I found there, and I just added a bit of white to it to bring up the color. I might brown it up a little bit more. So I want to get my 3 values. So I have a dark value underneath here, and I'm going to take that back here. Just give it some highlight. Just kind of using the edge of my brush there. So while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to see if I can get some shadows on that table there. I'm going to pick up some of my burnt umber and some of my blue. Burnt umber and blue and some red for my shadow. Okay, and I'm going to add that. So the light's coming in here, so shadow will be on this side, okay? It'll be on the left side. Just getting that shadow underneath there. That way you can straighten up your book if you made it crooked like I did. And then you can bring your dark colors back here. Good. Add some blue and yellow just to get some reflections or something. Oh, I still want some of that burnt umber and red. Darken up here. Straighten up my vase a bit. So shadows are nice, aren't they? Alright. Just play with some colors on the table there. I don't want too much blue though, that's the only thing. I'm trying to get burnt umber and red, so we want to kind of on a purplish side, a dark purplish side. Okay, so I'm using my burnt umber and my ultramarine blue, and I'm adding some red to it, and sometimes a little bit of green or something, you know, just play around the colors. So you can see by the reference photos, some colors there. Some nice colors. They even go right up into the background there. See that? That background nice and dark. I'm just scrubbing off whatever I got left on my brush there. Go in with some red and put some red back in there. So you can do anything. You can put in, as long as you got the shadows are dark, then you can just jump in a few other colors on top of it, see? That'll also smooth them out then, so you won't have too many streaks and strokes. Yeah, that's cool. I want some of that red to kind of shine a little bit, as if it's reflections from the... So you can play around with it, see? Even those shadows there, still getting some... That's pretty. See, isn't that nice? We'll do something with the other side now too. So we'll use our shadow color to get underneath here. It's really dark. I'm going to straighten up that little... I'm going to get that here like this. And then I'm going to love the red with some yellow this time. No, you must say, my goodness, what's she doing? Just playing. Just playing with some color. Now I'm going to put some burnt sienna in there too, just to see all those colors that are coming together. Really pretty. Isn't that nice? Look how pretty that is. I like that. I really like it. I'm going to see a little bit of green in that in there. I'm going to play around with a little bit of green, and I'm going to add, let me see, white, I don't know, just playing with color. I want it more on the green side though, not that. Let's see, we got the blue and a bit of yellow, and that's it. So I'm going to scoop in some of that here. And I'm not going to put too much more in there. I'm going to add a little bit of white to brighten it up. I hope this is not too much, but I just wanted to, a bit of yellow. Just like doing these things just to show you what you can do with your colors, because some people say, I don't know what to do with colors, I don't know how to do them, I don't know how to blend them. Sometimes you can just play around and see what happens. Go back to some red. But look how pretty it, you know, and when they just blend together like that, look at that. Isn't that nice? Look. Watch your feathers. Just playing with my colors. So pretty. Don't want to lose the edge of my table there. So you got to give the illusion of a table, that there's a table there. And then maybe some white to brighten this up here. I wanted to and yellow, maybe, just to keep that yellow look, or white, or nice bright look there. I'm going to clean my brush this time. Clean your brush really good this time. If you can't get your brush really clean, just get another clean new brush, okay? And it's so much fun when you just play with your colors. You can't really do anything wrong. I mean, yes, you know, you can do something that you're not happy with, but you can always go back over them and change them and do things with them that you want to do. Those flowers are the hardest thing in my mind. They are the hardest. I need to get this a little bit. I'm going to take a dark brown, take my burnt umber, and I'm going to see if I can. I think that might be a bit too wide. Maybe that's why it doesn't look right. It's a bit better, isn't it? I think. That way you get another shadow there. You got your shadow here, here. There we go. So cute, isn't it? Now in the reference photo, that was closer over here, but I just decided to put it there, you know. You can always put it the way you want. Alright. These in here, we'll fix those out. I just put them there just to know that they are there, but we'll fix them up to make them look more like their leaves. So now let's see if we can brighten some of these up. Maybe we'll do the centers first. Just make sure that black is dry, okay? We're going to add some yellow, a bit of blue to make green. Nice bright greenish bluish color, or a greenish color. Nice and bright. Didn't mix it totally. Just going to go back over. I got this brush here. That's the brush with the pointy tip on it. Round, and it's got a really pointy tip. Now you can use any brush you want. That'll work for you. I'm just using this one, that's all. Just little dabs. We could try this one here. This is orange. It's called Crafters Acrylic Deco Art, and it's pure pumpkin. And if you put the orange and yellow on one side of your brush, and you put red on the other, that's on the heel and toe, we'll call it, okay? Not on the right and left. You know, not on one side and then on the other. See how it's on the, we'll call it the heel and the toe or whatever. Okay, so that way you'll be able to get a little petal like that, see? You move it in. Be able to get one here. There we go, that's nice. And you can pull down, get some yellow and orange again, and alright, so we're getting Starting to get something going here. I might want something down here. All right, we're getting somewhere. I'm just trying to a bit better. So the easiest way out of this one is you can use your red paint to make, and some yellow to make orange. You could even add orange to those colors to brighten it up a little. And then you can take your brush and dip the corner, just one little corner, into your yellow like that. And then wherever you want your petal, you can take your corner of your brush and pull around here like this, and then you can pull down. You can pull down with the chiseled edge, or you can just pull down flat edge. I like the chiseled edge. I get a little more. So I have to lighten it up more so you can see it. So you take them down from the top. That's nice. And then you get another little edge there. Just dip your brush into your yellow paint to get that edge, and then you can pull it down into towards this little center. Just keep loading the corner of your brush, and then pick a place where you want a petal, or just if you already have the petals done, then you can just go around and pull down. There we go. And then you can load your brush again and maybe put another petal here somewhere. You can go that way or that way. Depends on if you're left-handed or right-handed. So I'm just going to go like this. Another one here. Okay. So that's all we need to do with all those. So just here's one more. I'll do one more for you. And then maybe I'll speed up a little bit so you won't, you know, basically the same technique. So you have your red paint on. You have your center put in. And then you're going to make some highlight. Okay, so you make a bit of highlight. You can use orange, red, yellow. Mix it together. Maybe a little more yellow than red. You know, like just get that little bit of a highlight there. And then take the important part is to take the corner of your brush and put it into your yellow, just a corner right here like this, and that will give you and make it easier for you to get that little, so you can go wiggle to get the edges wiggly, and then just pull down, pull in towards the center. And that's that. And then you don't need to reload your brush. You can just dip into the corner of your brush into your paint. So always have the corner ready. And then you can, if you need extra paint, just wiggle it a little bit. Wiggle it a little bit. And then just pull down. That separates them. Plus, so if you need any more, your basic color highlight, basic highlight we'll call it. Okay, so we already have the red on. So you need your basic highlight. You want nice and orangey. Just get some, make an orange color from the orange, yellow, and red, or just if you only have yellow and red. And then on the corner of your brush, that's the most important thing, is the corner of your brush with that little bit of yellow, and then that's how you get those nice little petals. Okay, I'm going to wiggle a little bit and I'm going to pull it down. Good. Reload, touch, wiggle, pull in. Touch, wiggle, pull in. How's that? Touch, wiggle, pull in. Reload, corner your brush. Touch, reload, wiggle, pull in. Touch, reload. Now you can either do that way I showed you, or you can take that little yellow part and just go up on the stem that you already have made and wiggle up and down like that if you want. That's another way you can do it. Okay? You might have to practice, like I've had to practice. I've been practicing trying to get this so that I could teach it to you in an easier form. So this is the only way I could come out with that was as easy as I could find it. Alright, so that kind of looks nice, doesn't it? I'll try another one for you. Alright, so I'm just getting my basic color. My orange. If you don't have orange, just use red and yellow. And red and yellow together. Okay. Whenever you make an orange with red and yellow, make sure it's a lot more yellow than it is red. And that'll turn a nice orange, see? Alright, so that's my base color. Just kind of mixing it there so it won't be too much paint in my brush. And then I'm going to take the corner of my brush and put it in there. So you already have your base color done, the red, okay? And then now you use those two. Like I said, you can either go this way, up and down like that, which is kind of nice too, right? Look at that. I like it that way too. And then just pull down towards the stem. Or you can take your brush and go up on top there and then wiggle and bring it down. See? If you lose your red, if you say, okay, well I put too much on, I lost all my red, just take some red on your brush, on your clean brush, and just pull in some of the, okay. Make sure your brush, okay, here's the ways you hold your brush. You hold your brush this way, right on the chiseled edge, or you can also do it flat, alright? So it's horizontal, and that's vertical. Good. So, let's continue on. So get your basic color, put the yellow on the edge of your brush, and decide which way you want to do it, whether it's up and down like this. And you can go out over what you already made up there, it's okay, and then pull down. And like I said, if you don't get enough red in there, you can put the red back, alright? Alright, alright. So, boom, 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 boom. And I might make another petal down here. I'm just going to pull in. It's easier when you have the corner of the brush with the yellow on it. I'm just going to pull in like that. It's not too bad. I would like for them to be a bit more orangey, but I can't seem to. Let's see. I want to use my orange. Now let's see about this one here. This one here, I might take my brush and put the yellow on top like this. Forgot to wiggle. I forgot to wiggle. And now I'm going to put some red back because I lost it. Look. But I want to do this to show you, okay? In case you end up doing what I'm doing. Alright, good. And then you load your brush with the corner brush with your yellow. And I'm going to go up and down this time. Pull in. Up and down. Pull in. See, I'm skipping over some stuff too because I need those shadows to come through. Up and down. Head towards the center. Head towards the center. So if you have orange paint, get your paint as orange as you can, alright? And then when you load up your brush with your orange paint, do the corner. See it? That will really help a lot. That will help a lot. So you can do it vertical, pull in, or you can do it touch and pull over. That will give you another edge right there like that, or a more rounder edge. But even if you want to do it that way, you can still, as long as you wiggle around, you'll get a nice edge there. And try to skip over so that you're keeping your shadows. So it's going to take practice. I had to practice. As long as you got your base coat on, and you got that little bit of yellow on the corner, top of your brush, it'll really help a lot. So if I want a petal in here, you can still walk down like that, see? And go get some more if you didn't have enough. That'll give the illusion of petals in there. There's a petal going towards the center. Then you can just pull it back a little bit. So that's the trick. Make sure you got the yellow, so you just get your base coat of orange. Whatever kind of orange you can make, and then the most important is that little yellow edge. That's a very important. That's how you get these. It's easier to make these shapes. All right. So you can do a touch with the yellow part up, yellow part of the brush up, and then pull down. If you lose your red, put some back in using horizontal strokes. All right. If you didn't get enough the yellow on top, you can just dab it in like that. Even just dab at it like that. Even. Okay. So I'm trying to make it as easy as I can because I did find it hard myself. So you need a nice flat brush with a sharp, sharp edge, right? Chiseled edge. Make it so much easier for you. And even an angular brush would be great. Let's try our angular brush. So our angular brush, always dampen your brush before you use it. Like just tap it in water and then wipe it off in your tissue. That way you'll be able to have a nice damp brush. If the brush is dry, the paint may not stick the same. I find it better to have a damp brush. It makes the paint flow. Oops. It makes the paint flow better. Okay, so now I'm going to get my underpainting, or I should say the highlight. Alright, so there's my highlight. I know I got a messy palette. That's the best I can do. And then we go, look. And now, because you got a toe, alright, so it's heel, toe. So the yellow is on the toe. So you hear me saying heel, toe. Use your toe then to go up like that, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, or, right, and then pull in. Up and down, up and down, up and down, pull in. Or pull around, pull in. Alright, and then if you lose it, put more red back. You can even put some shadows in there if you want to. Right? Right? But you can go back over some of the ones that you did earlier that you want to improve on. Okay, you can put shadows in there. You can put more highlights. You can take some shadows out up towards. Right? You can do whatever you want. Once you get the hang of how to get those highlights, I think that's the trick. So I'm going to use the top of my brush here to get myself a couple of. There we go, and I'm going to pull it towards the stem. Head towards the stem. That might help you. Or I can wiggle, wiggle. Right. Just keep reloading that little top of the brush all the time. We will do the stems. We're going to do the inside of those flowers a little bit more after. I just want to get you to get used to how to put those. And once you get this little trick, you'll be able to do all kinds of flowers, okay? You'll be able to do all kinds of flowers. All right. Now aren't they pretty? Now you can go back when you get it all done, have a look at it and see what you want to do to improve. So as long as you got your basic color on first, I didn't want that, I want orange and yellow. As long as you got your basic color and your highlight on the edge of your brush, then you can do anything. Now you can go back over, pick out spots that you think might need more. Just all you gotta do, I know it's hard because it took me a while to figure out how I could teach it to you in an easier way. Just touch the top of your brush, the pointy part of your brush if you have one, or a flat part of your brush, and just tap at it if you want to. It'll make it easier for you. And you separate them by shadows, and right. So when you do next one, you go over here. So you don't do it all the way around if you don't want to. Depends on the kind of flower that you're doing too, because this technique is great for all kinds of flowers. This is a great technique. Once you get this technique, you can do almost any flower in the book. All you do is get the shape, and then you put these little tops on there. So, alright, so now say you did this and you're happy with it, and you felt that you lost your shadows. So say you did this one and you have too much going on down there. Just take your red with a little bit of blue to make it kind of a purplish color. A little more red than blue though. And then you can go back in and start putting in some streaks of shadows here and there, okay? That will help. You can bring it up from the center, or you can bring it down from the top. Just little bits here and there. So you can play with that for a long time because there's a lot to it, you know. A lot to it. You can have pretty plain poppies. I already did a painting on poppies, 3 little poppies, and they were so simple. I didn't do all this, so just a very simple techniques. So you can have a look at that. I'll leave that. I'll leave a link to that one too. Because if you're doing these poppies, you probably want to see more. See, no shadows. Really, really, the contrast is what it is. See. Like I always talk about contrast in your paintings. And don't forget to use the chiseled edge, all right? Vertical. Think vertical. If I say horizontal, that means I turn my brush this way. So I'm doing vertical. That way I don't lose all my paint. Alright, so we'll just continue doing that. I mean, I've been at this for hours. And flowers can be a long time. So here's the trick. The proper brush, using the right type of brush and the little strokes, and using your brush vertically, sometimes horizontally, but whatever works for you. See how that brings it out more? Alright. So these are probably going to take you a while, but that's only because I have a lot. A little center in here somewhere. That's because I have a lot of flowers there, but you always use the back of my, I'm tapping it on and not making one big blob. But isn't that nice? Oh my, that's so pretty. So all we need for the stems is some blue, or you know, pick up your sap green or whatever you want to do. And I'm just putting blue on one side and yellow on the other, and that'll turn it green when we go on our canvas. So I'm just going to use my angular brush. If you don't have one, just use a flat. And I'm just going to touch and pull back. And so just touch and pull, touch and pull. I have a couple hanging down here and here. Good. Maybe there's one down here. That's nice. And then we're going to let's see. It's nice there. Just so you can see them. Make sure you got yellow on one side and green on the other. Or blue. And the yellow side stands up. Okay. Just going to take my brush and touch, just to get around a little bud on the end there. Alright. And some more. There's a little one coming out here. And then touch, just get a little bud. Just something going on out there. Let's see, we need more. Few little ones coming out here. We might need a liner brush for this, but use the chiseled edge if you're going to use the brush. This one here, and then we'll touch, make it just a little end there, and you can throw on a little bit of orange on the edge. Just something simple. We don't want to go too. I'm going to try. I'll try my liner brush. Nice long liner brush. We don't need too many of these. Not that, you know, we got the beautiful flowers, but we don't need to have too many. But it'd be nice to have a few there. So all I'm going to do for the butterflies, I'm going to take my chalk, make sure it's dry. I'm going to take my chalk, make sure everything's dry, okay? Draw a little center there, and I'm going to make a kind of a letter V, or bring that up there like that. Long one up there like that, okay? And then a short one, and then bring the short one around, and then meet up with this, okay? And then the other one, we will do the same, but skinnier. Come up here like this. We'll make another little line down here and just meet them up. Alright, so that's your butterfly. So we're going to use our flat brush again. So as you can see, we just used the one brush lot. I'm going to use the small flat one. Smallest one you got there. And I'm going to add a blue and red to make a really dark purplish color. And I'm going to add that on the edge of the wing here. I'm going to do my little wiggly thing here. My little wiggly thing. I'm not going to go all the way down there. Just going to wiggle it. Okay, just wiggle it a little bit. Like I said, I'm left-handed, so I'm trying to... And I'm going to do the same, just on that top part. Don't do the bottom part yet. Let's just put a little bit of dark in here for the body. A little thingy coming out there, whatever. Oops, made a mess there. Just clean it off. And then I'm going to wiggle a little bit up here. Just a little bit here. And here. Now, clean it. So pick up some blue and white, and don't mix it totally. Tiny bit of red. Alright? Tiny bit of red. Try not to mix it totally. And then we're going to wiggle again. So we're going to wiggle, and we're going to go into the dark, and I'm going to wiggle it down to that. And then come back in this way. Head towards the center. Leave some of that black up there. Add more white. And then we will so that's a cute little butterfly. Now we just need to add a little bit more white. Clean off your brush a bit, and let's get some streaks of white here. It all works great if your paint is wet. That's a nice little butterfly, isn't it? Simple too, you know what I mean? I want to do things that are so simple for you that you're like, oh, I can do that. So that's the end of the painting, and I hope you like it, and give it a try, because it'll be a really good lesson for you to be able to do all kinds of flowers. So once you get that little technique, you'll be able to do all kinds of flowers, roses and marigolds and daisies, all kinds of stuff, okay? All you gotta do is get the shape, and then the basic color, and then that little tip on the top of your brush. And so that's it. I'm going to leave it at that now, and I will say happy painting, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Well, thank you for painting along with me today. I had a lot of fun. These beautiful poppies are so easy to do after all. Today I'd like to ask you to do me a favor. I would like for you to share my videos. I want to get more of my videos out there to more people so I can share all the tips and tricks that I love to share. And if you share my video, I am going to give you something special. And all you have to do is email me, let me know that you shared my videos, and I will do a video based on what you want to learn and your request. And that will be my little reward for you to help me get my videos out to the world. And that's all there is to it. So we'll have some fun together. And don't forget to email me, AllisonPryor@yahoo.com. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notified of all my new upcoming videos. Thank you, and bye. Have a great day. Bye. Happy painting.